Activismul transpus în artă sau arta născută din ideologii, credințe politice este întotdeauna polarizantă, înțeleasă perfect sau dimpotrivă, controversată. Pentru unii, aceasta poate fi displăcută. Astăzi vorbim cu un astfel de artist. Acest interviu va fi în engleză. Hello, Clelia.
Hello, how are
So,
you?
I'm good. There's not much info on the internet about you. This is why I would love to let you tell us about yourself, what you want there to be known first.
So, my name is Clelia, and I'm from Greece, and I moved to Bucharest in 2019 when I was 18 years old. Now I'm 22, and I started my page 2 years ago, and it was more of a place so I can put my photography, and it slowly took a more political turn.
Do you like Romania?
Yes, I love Romania. I'm thinking of staying here as well. I'm now in my 5th year of university. I'm in veterinary medicine,
Nice.
and I really like. Thank you. I really like it, and I really fell in love with Bucharest, and all my friends are here, and I really enjoy it.
I,
Maybe because I have like more of a foreigner perspective of it, but so far it's been like a very nice place to be.
I would have asked if you miss the hot weather in Greece, but thanks to pollution, we have Greece in Romania now.
Yes,
So,
of course. Yeah, it's actually Greece. How I grew up in Greece. It's like the weather here now, because now in
oh,
Greece
okay.
it's too hot actually.
Mm-hmm.
So here it's okay. And you guys also have autumn and like a bit of spring, which is not a thing in Greece anymore. So that's very nice.
Why do you keep your identity hidden?
So I started in the beginning. It was mostly because I'm pretty anxious, and I didn't want to show my face and be so vulnerable on the internet, because people would like, especially when I started getting people that read my texts
Mm-hmm.
is and they're very deep to me and very like emotional. Like it would be
Mm-hmm.
weird for strangers to know all my traumas and like know how I look to and just like see me in the street or in a party and just be like, oh yeah, I know everything about her. Like that'll be very weird. And it gave me more freedom to be more open, because I think if I were to show my face, hid my feelings more. And
Right.
also another thing that I was thinking about is the fact that it allows people to be more like to relate to my texts more if they don't know how I look, because a lot of times we tend to uh, we tend to really compare ourselves, especially
Mm.
girls, and that's kind of scary. Yeah, so especially with girls, we tend to really compare ourselves, and I thought that if I want to speak about um, struggles of being feminine presenting, I think it may keep some weird competition between me and the
Mm.
viewers, or they would like start comparing themselves or something like that. And also in the beginning, no one really likes to see a hot girl winning, and they wouldn't like. I really felt like they wouldn't support me. I realized that no one really wants to see a hot girl winning, and I thought that people wouldn't support me if they knew who I am. And also, I don't know, like in today's like scene and everything, people really are kind of like gatekeepers, and like they don't really like to support people. And I don't understand that, because like if one of us makes it, like it's a whole all the scene goes up, and we should really like support each other and stuff. And I'm really happy when I see people starting something new or do something, but a lot of times people are scared of that, and they don't really like to support it, or they think it's
Mm.
cringe because somebody's just trying to start. So I realized that people like to support like faceless brands more
Mm.
than people.
Mhm.
Um, so I kind of took that turn of like anonymous for a lot of reasons, and also lastly for my digital footprint,
Okay.
because I I do want like to have a job that's like,
Mhm.
'cause I don't want this to be my job, because it would lose a lot of meaning, and its whole like ideology would kind of like crumble. So because I want like a normal job, I thought it would be kind of safer to keep it very
Private.
yeah, and kind of live
Yes.
a Hannah Montana life.
Right. I understand exactly where you're coming from. I was wondering, why did you choose the balaclava? Because when I was little, my mom used to make me wear a hat like that because it's very warm. But I think in Greece there was no need for this.
No,
Did you
no,
just choose it because it's it's very
yeah, it's
anonymous?
yeah, it's like that political feel, and also like the Pussy Riot Girls wore it,
Right.
and
Right.
it's very, and I like the fact that I can style it because I think no one really has done. I haven't really seen that, and it's very fun. And also, my little sister made this because she learned to crochet,
Oh,
and I told her like, hey, can you make me like a balaclava so I can wear it when I'm speaking? And yeah,
that's
she
sweet.
made this. Yeah, it's very cute. I think I'm gonna make her make a new one this year.
Another color.
Yeah.
So your page is called Bimbos Against Capitalism. Who is a bimbo and why did you choose this name?
So the name came first before everything.
Mhm.
I mean, I've been shooting film photography for like 5 years since I was 17, and
Mhm.
then this name came up to me. I don't know why. I was probably influenced from like because there was like a bimbo resurfacing as a word and like as a internet slang and stuff,
Yes.
and I was just starting to get like more politically aware of what's happening in the world, and I just came up with this quote which I really liked, and I started by I just wrote it on a tote bag which I have here, and it's that tote bag has been through hell, so it looks literally like a piece of
Oh,
trash, but it's
yes,
very, yeah. So
it's
I was
cute.
wearing that. Thank you. I was wearing that around the city, and a lot
Mhm.
of people were like, "Oh, that's very cool. I like your tote bag and stuff," and that was a good feedback. And then I wanted to make a page just to post my photography on it because a lot of like I was posting on my Instagram, but I thought that most people were following me for other reasons, and I
Mm,
didn't really care, and I didn't want to spam them with my film.
mm.
So I decided to make a page for my photography, and I named it like that. And then after a while, it started like I was thinking about it a lot, and one day and like what the quote means to me, and one day I was supposed to be studying for exams, and I ended up writing like 3-page essay about what it means to me, and like really
Mm.
conceptualizing it and doing some research.
Mhm.
And yeah, so then I wrote that I wrote like manifesto, and when I was 20, and I don't really it's I don't agree with it completely now. I feel like the meaning has changed a bit for me now, so that's why I'm trying to rewrite it now.
Mm.
Um, but so like firstly, it's about bimbos who are like very overly sexualized and like materialistic women, and are perceived they're perceived stupid because of their looks, and like people don't really respect them because they're pretty, and that alone is like a very old idea, like I don't really understand it. And yeah, and it's they're also, and I like the contrast of the quote because it's like bimbos are, as I said, very materialistic, and they are a product of capitalism, and that's why I really like the fact that they were against capitalism, and they were also used by capitalism to sell to other women to make them buy more makeup or buy more products and consume more so they can look like the stereotype, which then capitalism would not accept it. So it's very confusing, and would not take it seriously. Um, yeah, but now for me, I see it as a more like philosophical quote,
Mm.
because like a bimbo for me now, it's like anyone that is ignorant, and anyone that is choosing to be ignorant maybe so they can maybe survive or they can just be happy under capitalism,
Okay.
which I think is like everyone, because and most of us are trying to be against capitalism while through capitalism, like through green capitalism or pink capitalism. We're like, yeah, we're fighting capitalism, but we're actually bimbos and we don't really know what to do because that's how we grew up. Like we grew up under this state, and
Right.
so we're all very ignorant on something for sure. Like everyone is ignorant or choosing to be ignorant, um, just to be happy. And that's why I wrote this quote, like bimbos, no, ignorance is bliss, bimbos live in peace. uh, and it also summarizes kind of like my ideology. And yeah, so for me bimbos are kind of past the what was used back in the days. And I don't in the beginning I wanted to bring back the word and make it empowering,
Mhm,
but yeah, that's cute,
mhm.
but at the same time it was a derogatory term and I don't really know if I want to bring it back and make it positive, like.
Okay. Because
So
this is what you would accept expect at first,
mhm.
that it's the reinvention and the taking back of this term, but as I see, you're not using it in this kind of way.
I am, like, for me it's not positive or negative, it's just
Okay.
a bimbo, like. But yeah, that, like, it is, even if you are a bimbo, that's completely fine and it's good to be aware of it. And like I'm all in for like being hyper feminine, and that's like, but that doesn't make you like stupid in any way or like,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But that's why I really like the hyper feminine aesthetic, and
Okay.
like it really heals my inner child.
Hmm.
um but yeah, what I'm just trying to say is that everyone is a bimbo in my opinion. And yeah, and I like to see it that way, it makes me happy. um or sad, I don't know. I'm
Hmm.
still trying to understand it myself, like that's why I need to sit down and finish my manifesto, because I don't know, it's pretty much all my thoughts and all my ideology in like one, so it's kind of hard to describe it. But I think my art kind of explains like what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yes, it does. Do you have a favorite bimbo done with history since right now?
A favorite bimbo.
Yes, a woman who was considered a bimbo,
I mean, I really like Marilyn Monroe. She's also in my
right?
wall. I don't know if, yeah, she's in my wall. She's here.
Oh, nice. Yes, yes.
And I also have Betty Boo is also one of my favorites, because also she was actually supposed to be a black character, but they whitewashed her. And also she's such a hypersexualized cartoon, and
Yes, and she's a
like
cartoon
sell,
character.
yeah, and sell to kids, and it's like super weird. And I really, but she's one of my favorite characters. I really love her. And then Marilyn Monroe is just like one of the saddest story. Like it makes me really frustrated when I think about it. Um, but yeah, and then one of my favorite bimbos is like some of my friends. uh, I love them so much, and I love seeing them being so feminine, and like doing amazing. It's very sweet to me.
It's
And
nice.
yeah, and I'm also like a bimbo, yeah.
You've already said this, but your art explains it the best. But could you also tell us what does it really mean, and what is up with this current that's happening right now of women, especially and feminists, going against capitalism? Why is this needed?
So, I mean, to me, it makes a lot of sense because patriarchy and capitalism are kind of twins.
Mm.
Like, they're very close to each other, and because like patriarchy started around like 8,000 to 3,000 BC is it's located like the origin, and it's kind of when we first started doing organized agriculture and militarization. um, so it was when men were just chosen to be the producers, kind of, because of their physical advantage. And yeah, so it kind of all started together, and they've been cooperating for a very long time. And yeah, so for me, it makes a lot of sense to for those two subjects to be together and talked about together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also the way we've been treated under capitalism too, the way we are expected to look one way, but then we cannot make money that way, and we either have to like be either abandon our femininity just to be taken seriously, or be hypersexualize ourselves to like social climb. So we don't really have like a normal option. I'm sure we do, but maybe just for the very privileged women that don't have to
Mm-hmm.
face these um, prejudices. So yeah.
Yes, so it's basically the idea that women can't really win and
Mhm.
are mainly exploited in capitalism.
Yeah.
This is what I also got from your artworks.
Hmm.
But how did you start your page talking about it?
Yeah, so I wrote that manifesto, and then I made like a small project. I remember it was like the ends of Corona,
Mm-hmm.
and we made like some clothes out of like Corona tests and stuff like that. I was talking about the waste with all the plastic, and I don't know, just making clothes out of tests and just playing around with my camera and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, but in the beginning it was mostly just random pictures of on film, and then slowly I started writing a bit more on my captions, and people like that. Like I started getting messages like, hey, that's like really nice, and I feel seen, and
Hmm.
it's relatable, and that really like made me happy, and it made me keep going and sharing more. And a lot of times I'll really feel like I'm oversharing a lot, and I will be super anxious when I post, but I knew that it may help someone, so that made me feel a lot better. And I was just like, at the end of the day, they don't even know how I look, so it's okay.
Right, right.
And yeah, that helps with oversharing. uh yeah, and like it's been for 2 years now. It progressed very naturally, like just taking pictures of me going out with my friends, and talking with women around me and people around me about current situations that I'm interested in and frustrating me. And I just slowly created this format where something is bugging me, and I think about it, I do some research about it, and then I write my full thoughts, and I get over it. Like it's like my therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So is
very
this how you find your inspiration, mainly from something that's bugging you and then you transform it into a piece of art?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I take a picture and it makes me feel something,
Mm-hmm.
and I write about it, or I'm writing about something that's bugging me, and then I take a picture that's like portraying it, and I try to mix them together. But yeah, it all comes from either my friends telling me something that's bugging her,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking about it a lot, and I'm always thinking about the social political part of it. Um, or I'm having some problems and I'm writing my feelings, and then I'm doing more research about it and I'm writing more of a coherent text.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the visual part too, because I think we kind of need that nowadays. Like people will need that clickbait to then read a full caption, especially when you're on Instagram. Um, yeah, one day hopefully I'll make a book. That would be like my
Oh,
dream. But for now, we're doing the webs.
yes. And it's great because it's accessible to
Yeah,
many people all over. And
exactly.
what was your first photo ever? Do you remember?
Like my first photo that I ever took on my film camera, or the
And
one I
posted
okay.
also.
So it was the one with the COVID that
Okay,
I
the
told you.
tests. The
Yeah.
tests. Mm-hmm.
I can show you some
Yeah, please.
pictures.
And how did the public perceive it? Did they perceive it in a good way or not?
I mean, the public at the time were like 10 people. They were just my friends. So yeah, and it was something like that. Like she has test on her shirt and her
Right.
glasses, and this was actually shot at my university during online classes.
Okay.
But maybe I'm lying. I don't know. Uh,
Allegedly.
yes, rumor has it. Uh, yeah, so it was literally 10 people. So I
Okay,
didn't really care.
right.
And I was just happy to have like a project like that. And yeah, I was posting every like 3 days because I had so many pictures. I was taking pictures a lot. And it's just me and my friends hanging out pretty much. Like it just happens that my friends are very like fashionable, so we're always kind
Mm.
of photo shoot ready, or we're doing some weird stuff, so we're in a weird location and just matches perfectly. And then with some creativity you can somehow connect it to like a happening or
Mhm.
like a meme. And oh yeah, that's also when I started getting more like engagement with people, was when I started making memes out of my photos, because I realized that that's one of the main ways we express ourselves in my generation, like through memes a lot. And a lot of times you see memes with quotes that are actually like extremely poetic, and they mark they mark our language, and sometimes we use them a
Yeah.
lot, or they mean something through a photo. It's like very,
But
very
then, because of this exact reason, do you feel that only younger people understand your art, or have you found that also older people also get it? But maybe not exactly everything you're saying, but they understand the
Mhm.
concept.
Yeah, that was definitely a thing in the beginning, because in the beginning I didn't really know how to write more profesh. I mean,
Mm.
I didn't want to write more profesh because I wanted
Mhm.
people my age and younger to relate and understand and wanna even read something like
Mhm.
that. So I was using slangs a lot, and internet slangs and more chronically online terms,
Yes.
because I wanted to touch on that. And I also think that people that are chronically online, like me in the past, or like growing up chronically online, a lot of times they need texts like this or users like this on the internet. So I really like it was kind of like a punk, like, yeah, we're so young and quirky, and just speaking to the younger people. But then lately when I started like talking to older people, or like older people wanted to work with me, I was like, oh yeah, my texts make no sense to them, and that's not good. Like I want all ages to read my stuff. So
Yeah.
now I'm keeping it very like, I'm keeping the internet slang very limited,
Okay.
and just a bit, because I just think it's like postmodernist to use internet slang in
Yeah.
poems or text. So yeah, I'm definitely have that in mind now, or I try to explain it a bit more. Um, yeah.
And now that you have a bigger following, do you face any backlash? Have you?
Honestly, the only time I faced backlash when it was when I was doing the legs, because I didn't
Mm.
shave my legs and I was doing designs
Yeah.
on with my hair, my leg hair,
Yes.
and men did not like that. Like not a lot though. It was like some, like I don't know, three may have said something mean, or like maybe
Mm.
like said like disgusting or something like that. But also some friends that shared that post were getting like mean comments, like what the hell is that, like when they
Right.
shared it. And I was like, okay, I'm doing something right. um so that was cool. But
But do they say this in real life? Do they show this criticism? Never,
no,
right? No.
no. And the only thing in real life is the fact that when I'm tagging in the street, because I used to tag a lot in the street when I was like more angry. Now I'm more
Mm-hmm.
calmed down. But so I
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of tags around Bucharest,
Mm-hmm.
and like either people would be mad about the Bimbos part, they would be like, everybody's against capitalism. Why? What do Bimbos have to do uh,
Mm-hmm.
with this? And there'll just be like some misogynistic, weird stuff, or there will be fascists that just are against the whole thing.
Yes.
So that was the only backlash I see is on the streets sometimes. But again, nothing like in to my face.
Mm-hmm. My next question would have been if you intentionally play with some elements or some concepts that are a little bit more untraditional, because I wouldn't call them shocking. But since we talked about the hair stuff, I think it just comes natural to you, and you just
Hmm.
take the photos. You don't set something up on purpose. Is that right?
yeah, it's also the fact that I grew my hair legs for me in the
Mhm.
beginning, just to see how life is as a feminine presenting person, to walk around with like a skirt and having like full on
Yeah.
leg hair. And it was just like a challenge for myself to be like, why do we have to shave that? And why even the advertisements, the women that are shaving are already shaved. Like, what shocked me was the fact that people don't even know that women can grow hair like that. And that's what really bothered me. So I was like, okay, let me show them that that's a thing, and women have hair. And being Greek and having more like a hairy body, because I don't know, Greek people are more hairy. Um, it was just very confusing to me, and it's very all those very white European standards, like more Western, like hair standards. It's very no.
Mhm.
And so I was just challenging that for myself. And later I was like, oh, let me just do some designs.
Mhm.
So it just kind of came naturally. And also the fact that I was doing the designs made me keep going, because a lot of times I'll be scared,
Mhm.
because it's kind of scary actually walking outside with leg hair in the
Yeah.
beginning. But then I got used to it and I didn't care. Um, but what kept me going was the fact that, oh, at least I'm like making art out of it, so it's okay. Um, so that kind of kept me going in the beginning. But now it is what it is.
And
Um, yeah.
who are the models in your photos? Do you just use your friends and yourself?
Yeah, so usually it's my friends, like very in a random scenario, like us just walking out, like hanging out. So that's why I really appreciate them, because they're a huge part of this. Especially my best friend is like a huge part of this. Um, so they're usually my models, and
Mm.
they're low key models. So we work very good together. And then so now I started reaching out to more girls, like other people, to if they want to be included in something, because I don't want to use the same people all the time, and I because I want to like show more people and represent more people. So yeah, or I interview some of my friends and then I take pictures of them.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it's usually my family or my friends
Oh,
or acquaintances. I used to also be strangers in the beginning,
okay.
but then I don't know. I think people are very scared of their digital footprint nowadays, and they
Mm.
should be honest. It's kind of scary. Um, so now I'm very cautious, and especially when there's a political meaning underlying, I don't want to involve anybody without their knowledge and or anything like
Right.
that. So I'm very cautious about that. And sometimes when it's about leg hair, I model usually,
Mhm.
but I always try to like cover my face somehow
Mhm.
in any way. Um, so yeah, sometimes I model too when my friend takes the picture.
Nice. And do your friends and family back from home follow you, and how do they feel about your new internet fame in Romania?
Yeah, I don't know. My parents follow me, and my mom like reads my texts, which is kind
Mhm.
of. She always gives me like some feedback. Sometimes it's like, "Are you
Oh.
okay?" And I'm like, "Stop it! I got over it. That I wrote that like a month ago." But yeah, they know what I'm doing. I don't really
Mhm.
talk to them about it much. They're just seeing what I post. Like, for example, they don't know I'm doing an interview on
Mhm.
Romanian TV. I think that's gonna be very funny to them. Um, so yeah, they know kind of, but I'm kind of scared to tell them how much I'm working on it, because I'm supposed to be studying for vet school, and that's why they sent me here. So I don't want to brag about what I'm doing to them. I just tell them how I'm doing at uni. So I keep it kind of low key with them too. But my siblings and like my friends from Greece know what I'm doing.
That's nice. You also have lots of petitions that you promote all the time, and you work with ONGs. Tell us more about those projects.
Yeah, so last year, I'm not sure if the petition is still active, but we worked with an organization to bring feminine products to schools in Romania,
Mm.
and that was very cool. I mean, I'm usually more on the creative side, and I'm trying to do like the photo and the text and like organize it in a post so we can reach more people. And then I work with the organization that they're doing the petition and all the research and stuff. So I really like doing that because that's what I'm good at, like the more like internet marketing part.
Mm.
Because a lot of times with leftist communities, they don't advertise it for the girls, and that's what bothers me. It's like you should like kind of care about how it looks so you reach more people. And like also I feel like how I present it, I'm reaching more uh girls that are like into fashion, which is very like
Mm.
normal, and like into fashion, into makeup and like stuff like that, which I really enjoy also. And they should be reached and talked about like political stuff, and not just promote like capitalism to them and products. And what else? And now we also did like a fundraiser giveaway where I collabed with the girl from Timișoara that makes, her name is Bijou on Instagram, and she makes really cool lighters. I don't know if you can see.
We can, yeah.
And it's like my picture here, and then the quote "Ignorance is bliss, Bimbos live in peace" on the back. Um, so and we did this giveaway fundraiser, which if you donated to a GoFundMe, which was for trans girls bottom surgery. Um, if you donated to the GoFundMe, you entered the giveaway for the lighters. And yeah, that thing, and that just ended today, and that was pretty nice. And I like the formula. I think it could be used in the future a lot more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so far I think these are the biggest ones we've done. But yeah, I'm really looking forward for the future.
Yes, that's amazing when art is used to in collaboration with activism. It's the best formula, in my opinion. Do you want to play a game of this or that? I'll give you options and you choose whichever is closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the girls or one of the boys.
One of the girls.
Can spray or paint?
Can spray.
The
But
little graffiti painter in you answered that.
yeah, definitely. Even though I kind of suck with can spray, I wish I got in the culture earlier. I'm more of a
Oh,
marker girl.
really?
Yeah.
So, the third option, markers. And also, when you do your collages, do you write it digitally or is it also physical?
I mean, most of them are digital, but it's handwritten with like a on
Okay.
my on like iPad and like an
Yeah.
iPad pen. So it's like
Yes.
my handwriting but digital.
Right. Nice. And film camera or digital?
Film camera.
Film
That's
forever.
I wish I said digital because it would save my bank account. Like, oh my god.
I know.
It's getting really bad. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna may have to like move to digital at some point, but I'm really rejecting it right now.
I understand this completely. So, thank you so much. This was a pleasure. I love your art and I wish you good luck for the next projects. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. It was such a pleasure. I
Thanks.
really love being interviewed by like such cute like people. I love like feminine people.
Bimbos.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Până data viitoare, la revedere!